Welcome. My name is Mark, and you're watching Noah's Narrative, where everything feels real and something hurts deeper. The girl who changed the classroom. The morning Simone Carter walked into the room 14B at Westfield High School. Two things happened at once. Caleb Monroe stopped talking mid-sentence. Jordan Pierce looked up from his notebook for the first time all week. Simone did not try to impress anyone. She carried a brown shoulder bag, wore her uniform neatly pressed, and found an empty seat near the middle of the third row. She sat down, pulled out a pencil, and waited for class to begin like she had been there her whole life. Caleb leaned toward his friend and whispered something that made his whole table laugh. Jordan said nothing. He just was. Simone opened her notebook and wrote the date at the top of clean page, and for a reason he could not explain, something inside him settled. Miss Patricia Webb walked in seconds later, dropped a stack of papers on her desk, and looked around the room. Her eyes landed on Simone. "We have a new student," Miss Webb said warmly. "Simone, would you like to introduce yourself?" Simone stood calmly. "My name is Simone Carter. I moved here from Cincinnati. I like reading and I'm still learning how to like math." A few students laughed softly. It was the right kind of laugh, the kind that welcomes, not the kind that wounds. Caleb laughed the loudest, but Jordan smiled the longest. After class, Caleb moved fast. That was his way. He caught up with someone near the water fountain and flashed the smile that had never once failed him. "You are from Cincinnati," he said. "That is actually cool. I have a cousin there. What part?" Simone looked at him with calm, steady eyes. "Near the east side." "Nice," Caleb said, walking beside her, even though she had not invited him to. "I'm Caleb. Most people know me around here, but I'm not saying that to show off." Simone glanced at him sideways. "You kind of are, though." Caleb blinked, then he laughed. "Genuinely this time. Okay, fair enough." That exchange followed him all day. Jordan heard about it by lunchtime because Westfield High was not a large school and news moved faster than teachers could stop it. He sat at his usual corner table, picking at his food, and listened to Deja Monroe, Caleb's youngest sister, retell the story with full excitement. She checked him. Deja said, delighted. "Just like that, nobody does that to Caleb." Jordan said nothing. He just thought about how Simone had written the date at the top of her notebook before class even started. Carefully prepared, which in a way that meant she had something worth protecting. That afternoon, Jordan found Simone alone near the library steps, struggling with a math worksheet. He almost walked past. He almost told himself it was not his business. "The third problem has a trick in it," he said, instead stopping beside her. "The answer they want is not the obvious one." Simone looked up. She studied him for a second the same way she had studied Caleb, calmly, without rushing to a judgment. "Show me," she said. Jordan sat on the step below her and walked her through it. He did not perform. He did not try to be impressive. He just explained step by step until she understood. When she got it, she exhaled slowly and said, "Thank you, genuinely." "Jordan," he said, because she had not asked him name, but he felt she deserved to know it. "I know," Simone said. "You sit 2 rows behind me." Jordan looked at her. She had noticed him before he expected. That evening, both boys thought about the same girl for completely different reasons. Caleb thought about the way she had made him laugh at himself. He liked people who surprised him. He decided he would make her like him, not because he needed it, but because it seemed like a good challenge. Jordan thought about the way she had said genuinely, not just thank you, but genuinely, like every word she chose carried weight. He opened his notebook that night and wrote nothing. He just sat with the feeling. Neither boy knew the other was already falling, and Simone, back in her new bedroom with boxes still half unpacked, called her mother in Cincinnati and said it might be okay. She did not know yet what was coming. Nobody ever does. Mangoes, notes, the quick storms, The second week at Westfield High School told Simone one thing clearly. Peace at a new school was not something you found, it was something you protected. Caleb found ways to be everywhere she was, not in a threatening way, in the way that charming people move through the world. Like water finding every crack. He saved her a seat in the cafeteria on Tuesday without asking if she wanted one. He walked beside her between second and third period like it had already been decided. He made her laugh 3 times on Wednesday alone, and each time he noticed, he stored it somewhere like it was a point scored. Simone did not dislike him, that was the honest truth. Caleb was warm and funny, and he made difficult always feel easier. But something in her recognized that his attention moved fast, like it had not yet decided where to land permanently. Jordan moved differently. On Thursday morning, Simone arrived at school to find a small sticky note tucked inside her math notebook. She had left it in the classroom the day before. The note read, Page 47, problem 6. Page 47, problem 6. The formula changes halfway through, just so you are not caught off guard. No name, but she knew. She looked across the room to where Jordan sat, already reading. He did not look up. He turned back to page 47 and found exactly what the note had warned her about. She was quit for the rest of that morning, thinking about someone who noticed the details that others walked past. By Friday, whispers had already started. Westfield High School was small enough that a new girl sitting between 2 boys who clearly both cared about her was enough to fuel a week of conversation. Simone heard fragments near the lockers. Caleb is already following her around. Jordan brought her notes. She's going to cause problems. That last one stung the most because Simone had not done anything. She had simply arrived and existed. And somehow that had become a situation. She went home that Friday and sat on her bed and stared at the ceiling for a long time. Her mother knocked on the door and brought her a cup of tea without asking any question, which was exactly what Simone needed. The following Monday, Caleb brought her something. He appeared at her desk before first period with a small paper bag. Inside were cookies from the bakery near the school, warm ones, still slightly soft. I remember you said you liked cinnamon, he said. Simone stared at the bag. She did not remember telling him that. When did I say that? She asked. Caleb smiled. Last week. You mentioned it for like 4 seconds and then changed the subject. I just remembered. Simone looked at him differently after that because paying attention to a 4-second details was not something careless people did. She thanked him honestly. That same afternoon, Jordan stayed late to help Miss Webb rearrange the classroom bookshelves. Simone stayed to return a book. They ended up working beside each other in comfortable silence for 20 minutes, passing books back and forth, building the shelf in an order that made sense without discussing it first. When they finished, Miss Webb smiled at them both and said, Some people just work well together. Neither of them responded, but both of them felt it. Walking out the building that afternoon, Simone made a decision. She would speak to both of them plainly. She would be kind but clear. She would not let the whispers write her story for her. But that evening her phone buzzed. It was a message from Deja, Caleb's sister, who had quickly become someone Simone trusted. My brother really likes you. Like actually, not the way he usually acts. I can tell the difference. Simone read it twice. Then she put her phone face down on the bed. 10 minutes later it buzzed again. This time it was a school group chat. Someone had posted a photo taken near the library steps. It showed Jordan sitting 1 step below Simone from the week before. Both of them bent over that math worksheet. The caption read, tutoring or something else. Simone felt her stomach drop. By the next morning, the photo had been seen by what felt like every student in the building. Caleb sighed, his jaw tightened. He did not say anything to Simone, but he stopped smiling in first period, and his silence was its own kind of statement. Jordan sighed too. He read the comments underneath. He closed his phone and did not open it again all day, but during English class he wrote 3 full pages in his notebook when they were only assigned one, and Miss Webb quickly gave him an extra point without explaining why. Simone walked through that Tuesday like she was carrying something heavy and fragile at the same time. She did not eat lunch. She sat near the window in the library instead and tried to read, but read the same paragraph 4 times without absorbing a single word. Deja found her there. "You did not do anything wrong," Deja said, sitting across from her without invitation. "I know," Simone said, "but it does not feel that way." Deja was quiet for a moment, then she said, "Caleb just gets hurt easier than he shows, and Jordan never says what he feels until it is almost too late." Simone looked at her. "What am I supposed to do with that?" Deja had no answer. Outside the library window, Simone could see the open courtyard where Caleb was shooting a basketball alone, not performing, just moving like he needed something to do with the feeling inside him. And near the far wall, Jordan sat under a tree with his notebook open, writing again. 2 boys, 1 girl, and a storm that had not yet decided how loud it wanted to get. The truth that healed everything. The breaking point came on a Wednesday. Nobody planned it, nobody wanted it, but some storms do not wait for permission. It started small, the way most painful things do. Caleb arrived at school that morning already carrying something tight in his chest. He had spent Tuesday night replaying the library photo in his head, not because he was unreasonable, but because he genuinely cared about Simone, and caring about someone without knowing where you stand is one of the quickest kind of pain a person can carry. He saw Jordan near the classroom door before first period. Jordan was holding Simone's brown shoulder bag because she had dropped it rushing up the stairs, and he had picked it up without thinking. It was a small thing, an ordinary thing. But Caleb did not see a small thing. He crossed the hallway in 4 steps. "You do not have to do that," Caleb said, his voice low but sharp enough to cut. Jordan looked at him steadily. She dropped it. "I saw." "Then you saw." Nothing happened. The hallway around them quit the way hallway do when something really is about to occur. Students slowed down. Conversation stopped mid-sentence. Someone near the water fountain took a small step back. Caleb's wife dropped lower. "You have been around her every single day, and you have not once been honest about why." Jordan set the bag down carefully on the windows ill beside them. He turned to face Caleb fully. "Neither have you," Jordan said. That landed hard. Caleb blinked. For a second something flickered across his face that was not anger. It was recognition. The kind that arrives before a person is ready for it. Then Simone walked up the stairs. She saw her bag on the windowsill. She saw both boys standing opposite each other with a particular stillness that means something has already been said. She looked at Caleb, she looked at Jordan, she picked up her bag slowly. "Stop," she said, not loudly, not with anger, just clearly. Both boys looked at her. "Whatever this is," Simone said, "I need it to stop. Not for your sake, for mine." She walked into the classroom without looking back. The rest of that morning passed like a half-breath. Caleb sat by the window and stared at the courtyard outside. Jordan sat by the wall and wrote nothing in his notebook for the first time since Simone had arrived at Westfield High School. Miss Webb taught her lesson with the particular awareness of a teacher who understands when her students are somewhere else entirely. At lunchtime, Simone did not go to the cafeteria. She went to the one place that had always felt honest to her since arriving at the school. The library steps. She sat there alone with her lunch untouched beside her and thought carefully about what she actually wanted to say. She had been so focused on not causing problems that she had forgotten she was allowed to have a voice. Caleb found her first. He came around the corner of the building with his hands in his pockets and stopped when he saw her. For a moment he looked like he might turn back. Then he sat down on the step beside her. "I'm sorry," he said. "This morning was not fair to you." Simone nodded slowly. "Why do you like me, Caleb, honestly?" Caleb was quiet for longer than she expected. Then he said, "Because you do not perform." Everyone at this school performed something. You just are who you are, and you do not seem to need anyone to approve of it. He paused. I do not meet a lot of people like that. Simone listened to every word. That is a real answer, she said softly. I have some of those, Caleb said, and for the first time that day he almost smiled. Jordan came 10 minutes later. He stopped at the bottom of the steps and looked up at them both. Caleb looked back at him. Something passed between them. Not forgiveness yet, but the beginning of understanding. Jordan sat on the Lord's step, the same place he had sat when he first helped Simone with our math worksheet. The position felt important somehow, like the story was circling back to where it had been honest. Simone looked at him. Your turn. Jordan was quiet for a moment. Then he said, I like the way you move through the word carefully. Like everything you do has thought behind it. I have never told you that because I did not know if I had the right to. Simone felt something soften inside her chest. You both gave me something real, she said, looking at them each in turn. Caleb, you made this place feel lighter when I needed that. Jordan, you made me feel seen like when I did not even know I needed that. She stopped. But I'm not a choice between two people. I'm a person who needs time to figure out what she actually feels without a whole school watching and without two people who care about me accidentally hurting each other over it. Neither boy spoke. I need peace, Simone said. Before anything else, I need that. Caleb nodded first, slowly, genuinely. Jordan nodded second, quickly, completely. They sat together on those library steps for a while longer without speaking, and the silence was not uncomfortable. It was the kind of silence that comes after something true has been said out loud for the first time. Miss Webb passed by on her way to the parking lot that afternoon and noticed the three of them there. She did not stop. She just smiled to herself and kept walking, the way wise people do when they see young girls finding their footing. Weeks passed. The whisper faded. Caleb and Jordan found their way back to something that resembled friendship, careful at first, then gradually real. And Simone Carter, the girl who had arrived at Westfield High School with boxes still half unpacked and a heart still finding its shape, walked through the rest of that school year a little taller. Not because she had chosen someone, but because she had chosen herself first. So thank you so much for watching Noah's Narrative. These are the real stories for you, so watch it and subscribe here. Thank you so much.